Hello everyone. Sorry for the delay of 2-3 minutes. Could you just help me understand if you can see the screen? If you can see my web edition screen? Okay. I think now people can see my screen. Just got a message. Thank you. So, hi and welcome everyone on this webinar on SCC online blog and the newsletter. Now, this webinar is designed to showcase the free to access data available on SCC Online, which will help you update yourself about legal news, legal articles, then what's happening in our legal fraternity, brief about latest judgments while we prepare the head notes for you, because a lot of times later judgment comes in and we take a month or two, depending on the length of the judgment, to make the head notes. But to fill that gap period, we also give you latest judgments brief on the blog, which obviously I'll show to you. Then few interesting things like fact check to put a curb on the fake news. Then expert opinions column on a specific domains and topics, and much more. So this session would be primarily about what is available to every one of you for free of cost. So irrespective, you have SEC online subscription, yes or no, you will be able to see that off, right? Just a quick check. If someone can just let me know, because I read someone there's a sound problem from my side. Could anyone just confirm that if people can hear me or not? Just a simple yes in the chat. That will be helpful to me. A simple yes that if you can hear me properly, then I can just continue with this. Okay. I think it should be better now. Okay, going ahead. So for this webinar, okay, thank you. I think please increase the volume. Okay, I'm audible. Perfect. Thank you for this check. Now, whatever the data that I'm going to show to you, though it's free, but I can assure you that will be of great help. Now, as always, I'm your host for this webinar. My name is Chetan Singh. Let's get started with this webinar. Okay. Now, first thing, when you are on the website of scconline.com, this is the landing page. You can either click on blog from here, or if you're logged in case you're logged in, then you can click on SCC Online blog from here. Either ways, it will take you to the same page. I will talk about, if you are logged in, how does blog help and how the linkage between the SCC Online web edition and the blog, how it is linked, how it works. I will also talk about that in this webinar also. Okay, now let's go to the website itself. Now I click on the blog, that's right over here. It will automatically open up the blog section for me. Now, you would notice that there's a scroller which is going from left to right, talking about latest information. This is COVID-19 Supreme Court suggests center to extend directions. And then you have something more coming up, and so on and so forth. So this is this will just keep on giving you the latest information at one place. So you don't have to really go through, in different segments. However, now let me draw your attention over here. We have different headings out for you. So this is basically done a segregation of the news that you would like to see. Now, news, when I say news, it is not only the judgments, it is also probably a notification, an order, or probably a direction, or probably a circular, or some treaty being signed. Anything of that sort uh, can be seen over here. Now, let's go with the first one, COVID-19. Let's see what we have over here. Yeah. So I click on COVID-19. It automatically opens the COVID-19 section for me. Yeah. And now, as you can see, a simple synopsis, or like a heading, like you see in the newspaper, is being given to you, which is, if it is enough for you to make a decision that do you want to read this or you would like to give it a pass. Now, let's have a look at this one. It says MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs, permits shop register under Shop and Establishment Act to open from today. Now, when I say today, it was published on 25th of April. I click on this. Now, the moment I click on this, it will open a brief about what is being given in that order. You read this brief, you will be fully up to date on what is being like given passed as an order. However, if you wish to see the actual notification, a link to the order is given over here. So if I click on this link, order, it will open up the full order in front of me. I'm sure you can see the order as well. And going back, so let's go back, I think. Because of the full screen, I just keep getting, keep jumping from one tab to another. Now, so that was about COVID-19. Let's go further. Similarly, anything and everything related to COVID-19, it will be given over here. Now, you need to notice one more thing over here. Like you can see, it says case briefs, COVID-19, high courts. That means this particular topic is being discussed in these three different tabs: case briefs, COVID-19, and high courts. This one, the one that we just opened up, was being covered under this COVID-19 section: hot of the press, legislation updates, and news and notifications. Now, what are these different heads? We're just going to cover it up right now. So news, OPD, case briefs, expert corner, legislation, all this is over here. Let's get to the news part. Now, in case you want to update yourself with the latest information, now, when I say news, it is not only about judiciary. It will be talking about other aspects as well. Now, let's see the business news. Now, one thing you need to, I think you must have noticed by now that the format is the same. You just see a heading, you click on it, you get the brief about it. Now, if I scroll further down, now this one is talking about business news. It says bank mergers. I've read this. This came on April 3rd. I know about this. This is about, I think, Allahabad Bank getting merged with the Indian Bank. Now, one quick click on that, and I scroll down further. It says amalgamation of Allahabad Bank into Indian Bank Scheme 2020, this and that. And you scroll down further, everything is given over here. So it's a quick read while you're, once the lockdown gets over, even then you can use it when you're going to your, office or to the court, you're in the transit, you can simply go through the, updates, what is happening in the legal fraternity, and you just get going with the latest updates. Moving ahead, let's talk about hot of the press. Now, hot of the press, anything that is like a breaking news, which is right out there. Everyone is talking about it, like this one. Arnab Goswami versus Sonia Gandhi Roe. Supreme Court grants 3-week protection from arrest to Arnab Goswami, and so on and so forth. So one click on this, I will get the information. Now, this is a hot of the press, but it's also a news. And if you say it's a Supreme Court judgment, so in case, now what is the purpose of these things? I mentioned that these things are like this particular topic has been mentioned, have been covered in these 3 different things. So if you want to go to a particular section, like we were in COVID-19 right now in the hot of the press, if I click on COVID-19, I can straight away jump to that section from within the blog. So I don't have to come up. Okay. And then this is my this is by far right now my current favorite, fact checks. Considering that we have this Facebook, taken over WhatsApp, and WhatsApp has now become a very, very big domain. It has actually become a WhatsApp university, wherein people will keep sending fake news, and you don't know which one to take it or which one to leave. Now, this particular section will come in handy in that situation. Now, it says fact checked. Is the viral circular stating that government will pay 24% employee provident fund for the next 3 months for companies with less than 100 workers? where 90% employees earn up to 15,000 per month. True or false? If I click on this, it'll simply just tell me, what is the fake news and all stuff. But I think let me just take this one. Fact checked: are schools banned from charging tuition fee for summer vacations? Now, I'm taking this one because even I got this message from WhatsApp, and it was a fairly a good news for, I think, for a lot of parents out there, that you will be saving a lot of money over here, considering that we are going through a tough phase, tough situation. So saving a single I think rupee, even if it's a big thing. Now, first thing first, it says the social media message has been doing rounds and all. What is the message all about? It gives you that High Court number has been given over here. Criminal, CP number is given over here. Now, now the point over here is it gives you the entire message that is given to you, so that you, even if you haven't received it, you know what is being talked about. And then they come to the diagnose part. Now, in this diagnose part, it says we investigated this WhatsApp forward and found out that order is not from India. The judgment with the same petition number and judgment date can be traced to our neighbor, Pakistan. This case was filed at Karachi bench and so on and so forth and delivered in 2018. And if you really go to that particular judgment and you try to open it up, it doesn't really open that particular judgment, for probably for some technical glitch over there. The conclusion being, it does not apply to Indian schools and students. So I think a quick check is what we can talk about over here, or we can see over here rather. Now I think I hear you ask that who is who are writing all these blogs, who is maintaining this, who doing the quality check. Well, I have a good news for you. Uh, there are there are the same set of professionals called editors who are bringing quality head notes at your work desk through SCC online journals. They are the same workforce who's maintaining this blog and who's writing these blogs over here. So you can be sure that what you see over here is not been written by a person who is a novice, who doesn't know about a lot of things. It's been done by people who've been doing editorial work from a lot of long time, and you will see that that shadow or that impression of the editorial remarks in another 10 minutes. Now, the news part being covered, you can talk about appointments and transfer, treaties and conventions. I think we got the point, so I'll just move ahead with this. Op-ed. Now, a lot of you want to write articles. Now, as we all know, there's a limit. There's a limit to when you want to publish something in the books, because only set number of pages can be published in any given volume. So, and not everyone has the access to that particular journal that you might get published in. So the next best way is to get your articles published on web portals like SCC blog. Now you can see there's a lot of articles over here. If I click on this, it will automatically open up the full section, giving me an update about what articles have been written and by whom, and then so on and so forth. Any one of you, I'm sure a lot of you would be asking about that. How can I write articles? How can I submit my articles? There's an email ID that I'll share at the last, or rather, I'll write it in the chat in the once we get the question answer round. But for now, you can make a note of it. It's articles with an S at the last, articles@scconline.com. You can send in your articles over there, and we can take things further. Moving to next, expert corner. Now this is again. They are law firms, they are institutes which have been dealing in a specific domain, and they have their expertise over there. So if you want to read their views, because it's really hard to sit down with them and meet them. So especially for students, even for professionals, comes in pretty handy. So let's say I click on Cyril Amalchand Mangaldas. I click on this one, and automatically I see all I would call this a commentary rather, come article. you'll see over here. So it says predator pricing, not only abuse, but also proof of dominance. I've read this one. This is about uh, Uber. Uber doing unfair pricing and everything. Now over here, so whosoever has given whosoever has contributed on this particular section, their photograph with the name and who they are in the firm has been given to you. So very beautifully introduction of what the case is all about. The jurisprudence of Competition Commission of India is given over here, and at the last, the final takeaways, what has been done. So CCI has not held predatory pricing to be abusive under all circumstances, and so on and so forth. And then all the reference of the cases that will be used in this case are mentioned, are linked over here. So if you click on it, it'll open up. And this is what I was talking a few minutes back, that a linkage from blog to SCC online is there. Now, provided you are logged in. Now, you have read all this, this article, and you want to see these judgments. Now, these judgments are in SCC Online Web Edition. So if I click on this, and if you're logged in, it will automatically open the judgment in Web Edition for me without me noting down the party name, the citation, and all the stuff. So now this is the difference. Now anyone who has SCC Online access would be able to click on it and get this. If you don't have SCC Online access, that information which was there on the previous screen, that is that's a max that you can go ahead with. And if you try clicking on the link, it will just ask you to log in with ID and password. Yeah, I'll go back. And we are back over here. Now comes the most interesting, and I think my yet another favorite. That fact check was my favorite, like I said, but this is my favorite from the professional front. Now, as we all know, the judgments come in, and we take some time to give you quality head notes. Now, the gap period arrangement has been done over here for you. Now, if you want to see the latest judgment from Supreme Court of India and you don't have the time to read the entire judgment, my friend, I welcome you to the case brief section for that in that scenario. I'll skip the first part. I'll get to the Supreme Court. I want to see all the Supreme Court judgments. I click on Supreme Court, and within no time, I get the same layout that we've already been used to. So state government cannot fix the minimum price of sugarcane. One center has already fixed it. 24th of April, yesterday, thing coming up. Now COVID-19 saying something about children in the protection homes, and so on and so forth. Now the best part of this. Let's get to the best part. Now let's say Supreme Court leaves issued payment of minimum wages to migrant workers to center. Let's have a look at this one. Now I scroll down further. A brief of the judgment is given over here, not the full judgment. Again, talking about the same thing, that I don't have time. We don't have time. Yeah. So you read this brief. You are updated with what is being discussed in this case, and then you scroll down further. It says Harsh Mandar versus Union of India. Citation is available over here. The order is dated on 24th of April. You click on this citation and you know what will happen. It will open the full judgment for you in Web Edition. So you're reading the brief. If the brief makes sense to you, and if it interests you rather, you just click on it and automatically it will open the full judgment for you. So this is a choice. Right over here, it's a choice that you have to make, that do you want to see the full judgment, or are you good with the brief? Okay. Now, similarly, you can do this for foreign courts, your international courts for that matter, or few of the selective district court judgments. So we don't cover district court judgments in SCC Online. I'm sure a lot of other big journals also can't do that. There are approximately 1,600 judges, and there are so many judgments coming up every now and then. 16,000, I'm sorry, judges who are there, and so it's a big data. Now, let's have a look at foreign courts. Yeah. Now again, You'll get access to all this information at your disposal right over here. Now, things coming from Supreme Court, Singapore Court of Appeal, then Singapore Court of Appeal, and then you have Libya, Supreme Court, Canada, and so on and so forth. So anything that interests you, I was reading this one yesterday about a person born in Canada to a couple who were undercover Russian spies held to be Canadian citizen. Now, if you click on this and you read about it, see the point over here, the purpose of giving you access to the international data is to you can update yourself. During this lockdown period, we have, I think, some spare time that we have saved from during that we used to spend in the transit to work, to court, and come back. I think all in all, I think we are saving approximately an hour or two every day. So if we update ourselves what is happening internationally, we can certainly cite these examples in our cases in the future. There are a lot of things which are not clearly defined in India or in a lot of countries. So you seek help from the international at the international forefront. And if you read this today, and after a month or two, you're just preparing for a case, you might not remember this case, you might not remember the party name, but you remember that there's something like this, you have read it. And if you search for something that you know exists, I think your attitude towards the research changes because you know it exists. All you have to do is find it. On the contrary, if you're just looking for a judgment and you have no idea has it been discussed earlier or not, or this the first time this is the first time this kind of case has ever come in, so you'll probably invest an hour or two in the research, and if you don't find it, you'll say probably this kind of case never existed before. So I think reading all these judgments helps in your long run. Now let's come to this part, the Supreme Court Constitutional Bench. Now what we've done is Supreme Court judgments separately we have given over here. Anything which is not a constitutional bench judgment we have given in Supreme Court. Anything which is a constitutional bench judgment which has talking about a bench strength of 5 or more and talking about the constitutional matter has been tagged under this heading. So I click on this Supreme Court Constitutional Bench and there we have it. So Andhra Pradesh 100% reservation for ST candidates for the post of teacher without rhyme or reason. You click on it, you get it. So these are all the landmark. You can say a landmark judgment which is talking about constitution and it's talking about it has a full bench, like it has a constitutional bench. So yeah, all the important judgments can be seen over here. Okay. Then move to the next one, legislation. So you want to see the latest amendments, latest ordinance, amendment to existing laws, notifications. You click on it and there we have it. I click on this amendment ordinance. I can read the entire ordinance right over here. Now over here, access to the notification. I click on the notification, automatically the same thing will happen. Let me open to a different new tab so it's easier for me to have a look, and there we have it. Yeah. So 24th of this thing, and this is the one. There we have it. Yeah. Now moving to the next one. So cases. Now a lot of you have get SCC journals in your court. Sometimes you get it at your home. Now going through, I think it's habitual for us that we go through the weeklies on a weekly basis, right? We go through the moment we get the weekly part, we go through it and what kind of judgments have been discussed, what were decided, if something is relevant to my domain or not. Now, what if I tell you that you do get the books, you do keep the books, but rather than rushing to the bookshelf and spending a lot of time over there, I give you a digital index right over here. So we click on cases, it says Supreme Court cases, that SCC journal, there we have it. The latest part right over here, I click on this. So the volume 2, part 5, which is the last part of the volume 5, is available to you, and it talks about that there was a case about Constitution of India, Article 25-26. The party name is here, the citation is here. There was another case about on Order 8, Rule 1, another case on Army Rule, and so, service law, appointment, service law, reinstatement, arrears, back wages, and so on and so forth. The moment you see this, you know what kind of cases were decided and have been made a part of this weekly part. So you see it, you pick it up, you're good to go. Yeah. And as this is hyperlink, so even if you don't have the access to the journals, and this is, I think this is very common in the universities, because universities are, let's say, are subscribing to 20 weekly parts, or 20, or let's say even the best universities will be going for 100 weekly parts, but the students are in 500, 600. And now if everyone sits down, there will be a scarcity of journals, right? But you want to update yourself, so you have SCC online provided. Okay, if you have SCC online web edition and you have journal, and you can make a linkage between, you can have a bridge between the two. So you read this and you think, okay, this is something relevant to me, you want to read the full judgment, you click on this, automatically it will open the full judgment for you after you log in, provided you have SCC online web edition over here. Yeah. Okay, law school news. So you can have information about moot courts, what are the upcoming moot courts, is there any university calling for papers, and all that stuff, live blogging, conference, seminars. You click on any of this, it'll just start pouring in. Okay. Then law made easy. This is something for the, I think, for the first year students primarily, or anyone who is starting with the law and needs to understand things in a very plain and simple manner. So this is something that we have recently brought in. So dishonor of check, let's say. So I scroll down further. It's a very, very simple, I think, approach that we have taken. Very less legal terminology being used. Things which, things which will make a normal layman understand what 138 Negotiable Instrument Act is talking about. So I think if professors, if academicians are on this webinar, you can give this heads up to your first year students before you start with anything of on contract or on on 138. They can simply go through it. It's a good read, and then we can take them through the entire lecture. Moving ahead, know the judges. So this is a very recent thing that we have just started off. So if you want to read about Justice Bobde, the new Chief Justice of India, who is he, or what's his background about, all he has achieved in the past years, all that would be available over here. Then comes the interviews. So we've been doing a lot of interviews with a lot of people, and which is, again, it's like a career counseling along with information sharing, knowledge sharing. It's an amalgamation of a lot of things coming together. So like you can see, someone's talking about how to pursue LLM from Cambridge, then someone talking about how to pursue masters from Oxford, and then someone's talking about that how he became a teacher at Big Beck University of London, and so on and so forth. Now this is the blog, guys. So we are done with the blog part, right? Now there's one more thing over here, that is search. So if in case you don't want to read go through different segments, you really want to read something really specific, then you simply click on that. So I was, let's say if I say drone, start search. So wherever the word drone has been discussed in the blog, it will automatically find all the relevant, that information right in one place for me. So there we have it. So drone regulation 1.0 version. Then Nikhil Narayan co-authoring a book titled Internet Law, and I'm sure in this there's something talking about drone, and there are a lot of things, and this is all about drone and stuff which has been talked about. Okay, so you can do a sub search, you can do a search in the entire the blog per se. Now let me take you to something which is equally important. So we talked about the cases, which is about the latest information. latest journals, index. I'm going to show you something that I've been talking from last so many webinars that you can register yourself. You can register for the newsletter. Today is the time. Let me show you what the newsletter is capable of and what you're missing from such a long time. So I go back to the SCC Online Web Edition page. Now, again, let me reiterate this thing again. The newsletter is free of cost. The blog is for free of cost. Now, what are you about to see? I'm sure a lot of you will appreciate and will understand how much time and efforts have been put in to make this newsletter. Let's have a quickly go to it. I click on this. I get the entire menu over here. I can say archive newsletter archives, but let's say join the newsletter. So anyone who has not joined the newsletter, you can just put in your email ID over here, say subscribe. You'll keep getting to know about keep getting the newsletters, which is a weekly thing. Then also you keep getting to know about the webinars like this. You don't have to wait for your friends or any other person to send you the link. You will get the first-hand information always. Then you also get the link to the recorded webinar, so you don't have to really worry about looking for them, and a lot of other things, right? And then let me just go back and say our newsletter archives. So archives are kept over here. Let me pick up the last one, which was on 4th of April. Now let's have a look at this. Now, case briefs. The latest judgment from Supreme Court: no lapse of acquisition proceeding if government has paid compensation. A simple heading gives you an idea what the case is about. What is the party name given over here, citation given over here, decision date is given over here. You read something like this. Then you have high courts. Wise. The important judgment from high courts, which would be relevant to everyone, has been stacked over here. Other important updates: statutes, bills, and ordinances that have been brought in last 1 week. Amendments, notifications, rules, regulations, appointments and transfer, law school news, OPD, article invite. Now, I'm sure a lot of you must be thinking, oh, these are the same headings that we just went through. Exactly, guys. So, what we're doing over here is, those of you who are addicted to blog, those of you, I think I can't say blog, but those of you who are addicted to knowledge, to gain knowledge, if you go through websites, the same websites again and again, it's very difficult for you to, create a difference, difference between what's new and what's old. And if what is new, how do you find the new thing? So the newsletter does it for you. We give you that, okay, in the statute, this is a new thing that have just come up. In the amendment, this is something that we have come up. Notification, this is something that come up, and so on and so forth. So if something like any of this interests you, then you go to the blog and you need to go to under the notification column, and you'll be getting this. I think with that, I conclude my session on this webinar. And I open this now forum to the question answer round. And I'm seeing a few people talking about the contact details and everything. So the contact details, okay, so there is I'll just put the contact details over here. So anyone who wants to get in touch with us, however, the toll-free number, I'm sorry. However, the toll-free number is available right over here at your disposal at all the time. So when you come to SCC Online Web Edition website, you scroll down further. I'm sorry. So it says 1-800-258-6310. That's our toll-free number. You can give us a call. We will be able to help you out with that. You can also write an email to us at support@scconline.com. You can also write an email to me and my team. That is learning@scconline.com. You can send in your articles on articles@scconline.com. Now let's start with the question answer round. So Latif, blogs are printable. Latif, it's just a website, so you can print anything which is on the screen, like any other website. So in short, yes, you can print it. Okay. Okay. I'm happy to hear that, Rao. Ayinapudi. Mr. Ayinapudi, I'm glad you liked it. Okay. Do we have any questions around blog? I can just write the email addresses that would be relevant to you. Articles at the rate secconline.com. Mhm. And then you have learning at the rate secconline.com. That is for my department, for the training department. And then if in case you need any help in terms of your passwords, in terms of your if you want a training session, then you can obviously write an email to support at the rate scconline.com. So that can be done. Pooja, the free trial is for 7 days, and it's for 1 week or 4 hours, whichever comes in first. Sorry, I had to have a drink water. Okay. So Pooja, I think I just answer that question. 4 hours or 7 days, whichever comes first. Yeah. So I think Somi has already answered that, has documented that answer of mine over there. Okay. So in case we don't have any questions, I will conclude this session now and prepare for the next webinar as and when we have it. Yeah, and guys, keep on sending us emails with what you would like to hear from us. What kind of webinars would you like to we should conduct? And if in case you have something really specific like which you're not able to understand and you need a special training videos on that, you can please let us do that. We have recently been getting a lot of request from people saying that we need to understand how to find oral judgment. Though we have covered in the webinar, but I think now we have, I'm sure, we have made one video especially for overruled section, so which will help people to understand that how it needs to be done. Okay. So great. So I think that brings us to the end of this webinar. I thank everyone. I've been seeing a lot of thank yous and appreciate people who have been appreciating our efforts. So I really, really thank you guys. This is really motivating, and I think I'll just wish everyone to be safe. We will go through this. I think things have getting better and better. People have now started finding alternatives of how to get the work done while sitting at home, not stepping out. So I think we are on the right track, and I think we are learning. We're getting more time to learn. So I think stay in high spirits, stay positive, and this shall also pass. Okay. On that thought, I'll take your leave, guys. Have a great weekend ahead. Have a great day today, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye.